Joining us from Washington, Pulitzer Prize-winning historian and author of the new book, Destiny and Power, The American Odyssey of George H.W. Bush, John Meacham. And here on set, the only member of both the Senate Intelligence and Homeland Security Committees, Republican Senator James Lankford of Oklahoma. And Senator, just to start off the conversation, we've just learned that ISIS released two videos celebrating the attacks.
So, Senator, are we at war with ISIS?
They're at war with us, and we're back to where we were pre-9/11, where Osama bin Laden had already declared war on the United States, on the Western world, and we were treating them flippantly, saying that they're a small group way over there. It's not an issue when it's very real to us. So they're at war with us. We better respond.
The president's White House officials said this weekend that it wasn't likely that they could project the type of terror to America that we saw on the streets of Paris on Friday night. Do you agree?
I don't agree, actually. There are investigations in all 50 states right now from the FBI. We saw in Garland, Texas, just in May of this year, where ISIS inspired individuals to leave Arizona, drive all the way to Garland, hold out an attack there. Because we were knowledgeable about it, we were able to confront them. They literally got out of the car and they were responded to immediately. In Boston, in June, we had individuals that were going out to attack intentionally police officers that were ISIS inspired. We've seen it multiple times. They're practicing and they're trying to find individuals here that will help them engage.
John Meacham, compare what's going on right now and what this president needs to do with what George H.W. Bush did in 1991. I talked to Jeb about it. I built a remarkable coalition.
He built a remarkable coalition, but he was also willing to go it alone if he had to. There are two sides to that diplomatic achievement. On August 5th, 1990, when he said this will not stand, this aggression against Kuwait, he had just told his diary on Marine One as he came into the White House that if he didn't do something to get Saddam back across the border, it might have the enormity of a new world war. He was willing to call things as they were.
Compare 41 with Barack Obama. You've spent a lot of time with Barack Obama. Is this president capable of building that type of coalition?
Well, that's what's so interesting is that I know Obama admires H.W. Bush enormously, gave him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, speaks very warmly of him. And, you know, you want to see an energetic attempt to build a coalition to carry out what is unquestionably a war. This is, you know, and of course they can project force here. That's what terror is. It's asymmetrical. And so what Obama has to do, I think, is pull off what H.W. Bush did, which is build a coalition, but be willing, if necessary, to go it alone.
Senator, intelligence gathering is a key element of fighting this war that they've declared against us.
Right.
Are you at all concerned, or what's your level of concern with the encryption devices now coming out in this country and around the world, where at a certain point intelligence operatives, intelligence agencies are forced to go dark because they can't crack those codes?
Right, they're already dark in many areas, and the terrorists know it. When they go into certain platforms and certain apps on the iPhone or into iMessage on the iPhone or even PlayStation 4 and other places, they can get a chance to get to a spot where no one can listen in. Now, it's a double-edged sword. We need better encryption. The Office of Personnel Management would tell you after millions of files are stolen, we need better encryption, we need better storage, but that encryption has the other dark side of it, that terrorists can use it. That is the grand challenge that Jim Comey has brought up over and over again from the FBI, to say we are dark in areas and they are moving and planning in those
remedies.
Dark areas. The remedies have to be able to work with the industry. I mean, this is one of those areas where Jim Comey is absolutely right, and he's right in many areas, but one of those areas is this is an area where the government and the industry has to sit down together and to say no one in industry, Apple does not want to say they're the chosen device of terrorists. They don't want to advertise that, they won't want to say that, but they also don't want to say there's wide open platforms that anyone can get into. We can solve this. It's just a matter of sitting down and saying this is an issue.
So how do we bring those two together, which seem to be disparate, if you want to actually get to a conclusion, especially in the post-Snowden era?
Yeah, in the post-Snowden era, this is a moment where more and more people have to acknowledge that people really do mean to threaten us. That was the challenge of Snowden, where Snowden tried to raise the issue, and as he fled to China, then fled to Russia, to say, hey, Americans are trying to pursue everyone. They're not. The American government is not trying to pursue and listen in every single area. There are strict constitutional boundaries, and the government, if they ever violate that, should be put back in place, because we have different protections to what they experience in Europe. But the challenge is there really are people that are pursuing to actually hurt Americans, and we'd better stay aware of that and better stay engaged. And we've seen that. The Garland, Texas example is a great example of that, where we were aware of them plotting and planning for that. Then when individuals drive all the way from Arizona to Garland, Texas, get out of their vehicle, and they were immediately confronted by law enforcement.
All right, Senator James Lankford from Oklahoma. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Congratulations on a good college football weekend.
It was a good college football weekend for Oklahoma.
So the question is, Oklahoma State or Oklahoma, which one faces Alabama and loses in the
you know what? We'll see, because they've got a great Bedlam game coming up in 2 weeks. We've got 2 top 10 teams. We'll face off, and either one of them has a great shot.
That is going to be exciting. A distraction from all this tragic news. All right. Thank you so much, Senator.
Thank you.
We'll be right back in a moment.